All right. So here we got everything going. All right. So this is my first YouTube stream. It might be a little scuffed, but today we're going to be looking a little bit into why Sentinels got absolutely owned. Give me 1 second. Let me just test that everything is working. Can I hear myself? Yep, we're good there. All right, so yes, today let's take a look at why Sentinels got destroyed by G2. So I actually have already gone through the entire VOD and I have notes on every single round. This is going to make it a lot more easy. And to be honest, I have a Sentinels versus Envy game I need to catch in 30 minutes. And I'm sure that most of you guys are also probably thinking the same thing. So make sure that we'll get it under 30 minutes and then we can get into it. All right, let me pull up the ICEBOX game and let's get started. No. And everything. Okay, so let's get started.
Arena on the side of Sentinels and a Raze on the side of G2. Now, I think these represent what these two teams are happy with. The thing I'm going to be looking at is
so let's get started. Okay, and then the audio is working. All right. So we're gonna go toward, first of all, toward pistol round. So pistol round goes a little weird. All right. So we're gonna start. G2 are gonna start by having 5-man pressure mid, or 4-man. They have 3 showing themselves, and they are gonna start splitting off towards the early round. And then you're going to see TenZ and Shazam get very early aggression. And that's due to Dapper's dart. If we go back just a second, you're going to kind of notice Dapper's dart hits back, scans this entirety or this depth. And that means the only place one place that they could hide is exactly where Nuki is. But with that, they're going to read off of that and get aggressive. Double pushing. TenZ actually misses the jump. It doesn't really affect this round. G2 taking mid control. G2 pressures through tube and then forces Sick to wall. He feels the danger. And we're going to go back and just open up the mini-map real quick. And I want you to kind of pay attention to this. If we look in the top right, why are these two gone? Well, actually, if we go back just 5 more seconds, right around the time Sick makes contact with the wall, 2 players, you're going to see TenZ is making contact with Nuki. And Shazam is also fighting. But what you're also going to want to notice is if we go back just a second later, I'm going to open up to the other screen. Look at TenZ's HP. TenZ has 1 HP. This man was about to lose Nuki, and he escapes with 43. So, I mean, if we're going to say HP trade, it's a little bit in favor of G2, but it's not that it really matters. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So they break the wall. G2 breaks the wall, creates pressure, and then leaves. They're going to regroup back toward the B site and exec after pulling some rotations toward A, because Nuki did make a lot of noise there. All right, this is the start where things start going a little bit downhill, and you're going to see why. Dapper gets picked, opens up the B site. With this wall, there's really nothing much more you can do. Wall goes up, plant goes down. Nuki is staying very far back. He's all the way back A main, watching for the flank from mid. And what's going to suck about this round is that Sick had a wall, but now doesn't because he was forced to use it earlier because of the tube aggression. Shazam dies on the flank. Kellogg's gets these 2. And then the round is over, right? It's a 4v1. The round is essentially over. Yeah, Sick, it's a nice shot. But yeah, the round is over. So we're going to go back and kind of like understand that this is why pro teams take the time to make pressure elsewise in other places besides the site that they want to hit. 3 people pushed up tube early, forces Sick here to use the wall to stop the tube pressure. But now when they hit the B site, there's no wall back to stick the plant. And because there is no wall, they're also down a man. Then it becomes a very hard retake. Not to mention that Kellogg's also obviously gets 2 very nice kills. Nookie here catches Shazam when he tries to rotate and help from Orange. I think he reflanks and then kills Shazam here. All right, next round. All right. We're not going to go into the second round because it's just pretty much an anti-eco. There's really not much to go into. Sentinels doesn't really invest in anything. They might get a few sheriffs, but in the end, they just drop they drop 2 players, and then that's about it. I mean, they dropped a player, I think. That's it. Yeah, they just hold for the flank. Sick dies here. Shazam is going to go down pretty soon. And yeah, it honestly, it was just kind of very one-sided. Dapper gets one, and then yeah, it's a 4v1, and that's it. All right, so skipping round 2, we're gonna go on to round 3. All right, here we go. Okay, so round 3, it's the first gun round. This is very important in trying to set the stage for the round and for the game. It's a bonus from G2, so it doesn't really matter. G2 is realistically only looking to get damage out and hurt the econ. Shazam is playing this very outwards angle. It's because he's Jet. He can dash back. It's fine. Other agents, he probably wouldn't play like this, but that's why different agents have different play styles. The drone comes out. Shaz gets tagged. He keeps fighting here. It's because he still has dash. And honestly, Avova killed Shazam very quickly. I think Shazam, had he finished that burst, he would have dashed, but he got killed mid-dash. Dapper gets killed backside. Tens gets 1, but gets traded out. At this point, it's kind of bad. Besides losing the bonus round, they lose it pretty, like, flawlessly. They lose 1 player on the bonus, and that means if you look at G2's weapons, they have 3 rifles now, meaning Kellogg's is the only one who really needs to upgrade, and also the Sova. So we're gonna go back and what kind of went wrong that round. You have better guns. What goes wrong? So this one is honestly kind of a little unfortunate. Avova kills Shazam very quickly. You see it burst once, and he's gonna burst again. 1 more, and he tries to finish it off. 1 more bullet would have killed Mixwell, but Vova literally straight up deletes Shazam. I would say that it's chalked up to mostly unlucky. But you're going to realize that these are all 1v1s. Ready? Dapper's right here. Dapper's going to get picked off by Kellogg's with the Marshall. It's another 1v1. It's also in turn due to G2's really good utility usage. Look, Sage slow here. Tens can't even swing if he really wanted to. Dapper swung. Tens very likely would have swung with him, but he can't. That's why he kind of has to inch out a little bit, and then he ends up getting 1, but that's like the best he can get. In the end, it's kind of both bad coordination. I think I really wish Tens was peeking at the same time. They had 3 on the site. They had 3 rifles against Spectres, 3 Spectres, a Sheriff, and a Marshal. And they ended up losing the round because it was all 1-on-1-on-1. Shazam dies. Dapper dies. Tens dies. All right, we're gonna go into the and then guess what? Next round is another eco. It's not looking very good. Yeah, it's all sheriffs, -1 classic on Shazam. Shazam doesn't even have knives, and this is the issue with losing rounds super cleanly, like, or the other team winning rounds very cleanly. They have no ult points. Like, no one is close to an ult. Here we have Kellogg's close, and then we have Avova already has res. Kills give you ults, dying gets you ults, right? So ideally, a lot of the agents get about 2 ult points from getting a 1 KD. You kill 1, you die. You kill 1, you die. Therefore, 6 ult point cost gets you about 3 rounds to get them. Sick isn't even halfway there. Sick and Dapper are just halfway there. Shazam isn't even halfway, and neither is Zombs. And this is because they just keep dying without any kills. It was a pistol round. It was a 4. G2 had 4 players alive. Second round, 4 players alive. And then the latest round was also, I believe, 4 players alive. They got like a solid, I think, 3 kills amongst everyone. And therefore, they're not even going to be near ult. Even if they had guns here, they would still be at a worse situation. All right. But yeah, this is just going to be another clean round. I think they lose 1 player. Yeah, they lose Mixwell. I don't know what that was, to be honest. And then Zom just... I don't think Zoms even gets one here. We're gonna go skip a little bit. Yeah, Zoms didn't even get one. Okay, so there you go. Another 4 clean rounds. 4 clean rounds means that the entire G2 team is maxed. This is going to be an uphill battle. Like, Sentinels, if they wanted to win, would have to win probably around 3 to 4 rounds in a row to knock a G2 to a point. And that's not even accounting that G2 might save sometimes, you know? So this is why it gets so hard. All right. We're going on to round 5 here now. All right, second gun round. Keep in mind 4. Oh, but only 2 are gun rounds. And then there is the 1 pistol. All right, here we go. That dart is for orb, by the way. In case you're wondering why he darts it. Okay, so this is actually a pretty cool push. You see 10s, if we look in the minimap here, you're gonna see 10s is pipes. Shazam took the zip and is gonna jump on belt with his op. And then Dapper is holding back. He's gonna dart for them. The reason why Shazam goes pipes is you can hit the dart that normally attackers like to shoot early, which is the one, I'm gonna highlight it real quick, is the one right here along this wall. When you hit it, it stops pipes aggression, it stops the A main pushes because the attackers are forced to defend off of it. But 10s being here is gonna just pop the dart if there was one. Anyway, moving on. Nuki reads this so hard. So you can hear the zip. That's the thing. But the assumption is usually that they're pushing nest or something like that. The other second assumption is that Shazam is doing exactly what he did. And then Dapper gets tagged here. And then the nade finishes him off. Nuki hits a nice shot on 10s earlier, by the way. So this round really came out to Nuki kind of popping off and just being a really good player, essentially. Being very smart, expecting the aggression from Shazam, and then just hitting a nice shot. You know, good mechanics plus a good brain. It makes a pretty scary player. Right. Guess what? There is a few ways that that round could have been saved. So what you're gonna notice is that you're gonna see in the slow motion replay, Nuki holds for this. Shazam peeks before the dart gets the first ping. So this really kind of shows that Nuki kind of knew what was going on. He let the dart ping him because he didn't even react. He just stared. He's like, I'm gonna focus on this. And then if he doesn't peek, then I'm just going to back down the ramp a little bit so I can't get wall banged or anything, and then just break the dart. But the timing actually worked out very well. And Nuki is just such a smart player. He just knew. He's just like, I'm not even going to bother with the dart. I'm going to wait to see if you peek, and then I'm going to shoot it. Insane player. That's honestly a very... Like, look how calm he is in the bottom left, by the way. I don't think you guys understand. This is like a next level. All right. This next round is unfortunate because, yeah, Shazam's upset, by the way. I mean, they're getting shut down pretty hard. I would be like, why is he holding that? It's an eco again. So it's likely it's going to be 6-0. And of those 6-0, pistol round was one of the rounds. There's been 2 ecos. So there's 3 rounds that have just been straight up. I mean, I guess you wouldn't consider pistols even. But if a couple rounds, like, that's how it snowballs. It's not necessarily the rounds you win, but the rounds you gain for free because you won the previous round. Yeah, nothing really important happens this round. Yeah, I think it's just a pretty clean sweep. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit, turn up the playback. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, this is just pretty much a kind of destruction. I don't think they even get... I think this is a flawless round. I don't think Zoms gets a single kill. Yeah, this entire map was really bad for Zoms. Zoms, I think, goes 1 in 15 on this map. I don't want to say that it was completely his fault. Yes, he didn't get any kills, but if you look at how the game was played, or he didn't get many, like, we got 1 kill. He didn't have that many opportunities, and any of the opportunities he did have to get a kill, it wouldn't have mattered. This was his intent. Actually, this entire game was shut out. by G2. It wasn't necessarily one player playing like it wasn't necessarily one player like Zombs wouldn't have created enough impact even if he got like 1 KD. Everywhere he went, it was essentially a retake. On some, yeah, he lost some gunfights, but like he realistically only had like 3 or 4 fair gunfights, so it's not really that fair. Hola, what up, Tahidol? I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. All right, we're gonna keep going. All right, so nobody died. That's pretty bad. All right, we're gonna go on. It is 6-0 right now. Dapper's gonna dart early, and Shazam holds the pipes for a second. Tens is on top of pipes, and they're going to try to be aggressive here. You're gonna see where Tens is standing. He's waiting for someone to push bottom while Shazam is holding upper belt. And Tens goes down. I'm gonna bring up a note after this round. But yeah, Tens gets picked. Nuki is gonna get healed, so essentially canceling out anything. This round goes really, really poorly. It's a little due to unluckiness, because if you're gonna look what's gonna happen to Shazam. Shazam's here, he's peeking belt, and then the dart comes out. He goes to smoke, and Nuki catches him off. It's a little unlucky, because there's no one else that could break the dart for him. And then Sick is forced to play in aggro position because he needs multiple kills, right? Playing backside isn't going to usually get you multiple kills. It's just going to usually get you swarmed on. So that's how you play aggro and try to fight them at the choke. And at this point, it's a really hard 2v4. Dapper, I think, gets 1. Zombs is really far. Zombs just rotated in. Dapper goes down. Zombs is kind of stuck here. There's nothing much you can do. Yeah, essentially nothing you can really do on the retake. But we're going to go over a few things that kind of made it hard for Sentinels. 1, you want to realize G2 is reading Sen really hard. If we go back to the multiple rounds, let's see. If we go back, yeah. So there was a round. I think there was round. It was one of the ecos. No, it was first gun round. First gun round, Sentinels tries a triple push mid. Let me go back to that real quick. Yeah, Sentinels here try a triple push mid. So I'm gonna go into the minimap so you can see this. Triple push mid. They follow up behind Dapper's drone. Yeah, Dapper's drone there. Follow up, and then, but because Mixwell shoots the molly there, there's nothing they could really do. You're gonna see, and that's how you know that they're kind of getting red a little bit, because this happens before any contact is made. He just shoots it into his poison orb to stop mid aggression. And then I'm gonna bring up a little bit later how I think, if I were to guess, G2 is reading Sentinels straight up because of Dapper. This is because these last 3 times that they had gun rounds, every single time there was an aggressive push. This is the first time. Aggressive push here. Second time is when Shazam hops on top of belt and ops and gets destroyed by Nuki, who is waiting for who was posted. Let me see. Yeah, this is the second gun round. Immediately gets red. And guess what is there? It's the dart. And then we're gonna keep going. And the next one is Tens. Tens gets picked here as well, and I believe it's because Dapper darts for him in early. Yeah, Dapper darts for him early. Ready? Dart right here. It's almost like every place that Sentinels aggressively pushes, Dapper's dart is there on the defense. I'm not sure, obviously, but as you can see, every single gun round, Sentinels has pushed. That dart or some drone or some utility has been used. Obviously, it's smart, but if it's smart, then it's readable. All right. Also, we're also going to go back to that round, this round, where Tens dies front pipes. Shazam dies in tube. Now you want to realize that Sick has no way of using his res. When Tens gets picked, you can't use your res. There's not. He's too far up. Shazam dying there was it was mostly unfortunate because Shazam, you're gonna notice, doesn't have very many safe peeks in this game. He usually just gets picked before he's even able to dash, and it's a mixture of being unlucky and just getting out aimed. All right, and then yeah, that ended that round. We're gonna keep going. Alright. It's 7-0. And we're gonna skip a little bit to the beginning round. It's a half buy. We look at the right side, 1 Spectre, 1 Vandal, 1 Stinger, and 2 pistols. Shazam does have knives. And surprisingly, they win this round. Stick around to kind of find out why. Zoms has an aggressive position. He's got a Stinger in his ult. Pretty good. Tens gets picked by Kellogg's. Shazam picks the Sova Coldamente. And Kellogg's lurks up into tube. I'm going to show you a little bit why Dapper is very unsuspecting of that in a little bit. This is so unlucky. I'm so surprised Mixwell is so aware to check that. That was like, he just left. Why would you expect that? That's insane. Don't worry, Shazam does get that kill, and Shazam's gonna get an AWP because Kellogg's had lurked up with an AWP. He had knives, but he had an AWP on his body. Zoms gets ignored by G2. Literally, they're like, I don't care about you, bro. And this... See, it was good up until that. This entire round was good up until Zoms dies, and then this round becomes significantly, I want to say like 3 to 5 times harder. So you want to notice that Zoms dying there means that they no longer have any A pressure. Honestly, hindsight, guys, keep in mind, I have the ability to see everything that's going on. Zoms realistically probably wants to stay inside his ult. Pushing out, they knew he's there. There's no way you just, like, if they didn't, you're in the ult. There's nothing more to it, right? So pushing it, they're going to expect you to push it. If they're not going to clear it, they're going to hold it. Zoms dying there makes it really scary. I get it. It's on an eco, but you also want to realize it was a 4v3 position. Sick just rezzed Dapper, and yes, they have worse guns, but Shazam still has knives. Sick has an AWP now because Shazam dropped the AWP for Sick, which is actually going to pay off. So it's a 3v3 retake attempt. Dapper darts. That was kind of a bait. Sick gets one. Shazam gets one. Sick has walls off the spike, and then Sick gets another op shot onto Nuki. It's fortunate. It's very fortunate that happened. It kind of really comes out to a few like bad plays and some nice shots, mostly from Sentinels. G2 did like, it wasn't even bad, it just wasn't the most optimal way to play, and they definitely didn't expect trades to go in that sort of fashion, where one gets picked, Shazam gets picked midair, and then they lose the AWP on the flank. So if you're gonna look, that kind of was due to what's his name, Kellogg's kind of throwing. It's not throwing, sorry, but we're gonna look. I'm gonna show you like kind of the mini map, right? So I want you to see when Tens here dies to Kellogg's, and 3, 2, 1, right? He kills him. Shazam trades one, but look at the mini map. He's gonna run. He's running. Like, that's immediately the decision he makes. He has an AWP in his hand, but he still makes the decision. And to be honest, this was a round-winning position as long as G2 players traded efficiently on A, but they didn't. Because Kellogg's gets 2. He gets the first mid one, and then he gets this one, and he keeps 2 players, Sick and Shazam, on the B site. with Zoms alone on A. So Kellogg's created the opening that G2 had on A. They just did, the other players just didn't manage to maintain the advantage. All right, we're gonna keep going. All right. Okay, so 7-1 is the score for this. Yeah. Okay, so this is the next round. All right. It's 7-1. This is a pretty cool lineup. I've seen it stick through this as well. Where it lands is, oh, let me show you the lineup. It's right here. Yep. And where that lands is, let me highlight it on the mini app right there. You're gonna see it explode. It stops Zoms from doing exactly, we're playing like by this area, B main, and just like jiggling between the left and the right. He can always put up the wall to escape, but with that, the slow makes it very dangerous to stay there, which is why he ends up backing up all the way back to Snowman here. 7-1. Kellogg's gets aggressive, gets the pick on Sick. And you're gonna see Shazam here gets the pick on Nuki. This is like the cool part of seeing how teams adapt to each other. Shazam is aware. He knows there are multiple players on A. He knows the enemy G2 is on B. But he still holds for it because he knows that Nuki is playing there. Alright. Tens wins the round. These 2 kills are absolutely huge and obviously beautiful. And then after that, the round is over for G2. All right, 7-2. It looks like, hey, maybe SEN can pull this back. You know, ICEBOX is an attacking-sided map. Defense is harder. You know, 7-5 wouldn't be a bad half. All right. And what I want you to take a notice at is this, though. And this is kind of proof that G2 has done their homework. I mean, besides obviously just reading them every round. But this. Is it right here? Right here. Yeah, that Molly. That Molly is weird. This Molly is weird. Why? Why do you Molly that? That's like such a awkward thing to do, because essentially, yeah, you could just hold it though. But it feels like wasting a molly here, like a lot of the times, so I would say 9 times out of 10, using a molly here is just a waste. Like it doesn't really accomplish anything. But what I kind of want to bring up is, let me see this, 7-1. And that's that, like there was utility used beforehand. Look, Dapper's dart right there. There's Dapper's dart, top right. So this is where my theory that, hey, SEN is getting red off of Dapper's utility comes in. Every time there is aggression, Dapper's dart is used right off, or Dapper's drone is used right off the bat. And G2 are using this information to kind of guess what they're going to do. So this one, it would have been either here or here, right? So obviously this is smoked or orbed. Then he's going to guess here. So then he mollies this. Because otherwise, I don't see what the read is there to just throw a random molly there. My own opinion. You're welcome to make your own inferences. And before this match, SEN lost 2 maps, 1 to 100 Thieves and 1 to G2. Is that correct? Are you talking about Arc? Are you referencing on ICEBOX, or are you talking about just in general maps?
But now we need to see that come through again. We need to see Sentinels make it work when G2 aren't playing. Oh, by a snake. I'm really impressed with the G2.
They lost once. They've never lost a series. So the thing is, Sentinels has never lost a series on land. So throughout all of Iceland, they went straight to winners and won the finals. They dropped that. They might have dropped them. I don't even know if they dropped the map. Maybe dropped the map. I can't remember. But the idea is that they never won like a best of 3, lost a best of 3 or best of 1 if that was all it was on land. And this is the first time as best of 3, and they got kind of stomped. But yep. So the round that was explained there. Tens wins the round. What's a sick double, sick flank and gets the double, and yeah, that's it. for that round. Okay, it's a 7-2. You know, chain 2 rounds in a row. It's really good for Sen. So let's see if this is correct. Dapper darts this. Okay, there is no aggression this time, but I feel like that's might be due to Sen changing their playstyle. It's different now. They've gotten punished multiple times on the aggression, and now it's like time to, hey, let's dial it back. They're reading us. Sick walls off the tube. And this round is honestly a heartbreak. What's up, Natsakashi? Sorry I haven't been able to. Hey, no problem, man. I know everyone got their things to do in life. This round is honestly, I think if Sentinels had won this round, and they should have, this map may have gone differently. I think Sentinels is playing a little bit different than they normally do. I feel like confidence probably had a factor a little bit. Definitely going being down 7-0. And by the way, G2 and Sentinel's Twitter account has been throwing shade at each other for the past like month. G2 CEO is pretty funny, honestly. If you haven't seen it, go on Twitter and check it out. It's kind of funny how they banter. But I'm not sure the players are really involved, but it is kind of funny. And honestly, if your org was like represented like where it's getting like trash talked, you don't want to lose, and sometimes that can add more pressure than necessary. So Dapper gets one here. Shazam gets one. You're gonna look on the top right. Dapper gets another. So it's a 4v2 right now. Hey, what's up, Matt? Thanks for stopping by, bro. It's a 4v2, and they have 13 seconds on the clock. Avova is sticking, like the pressure is on. Sick is rapping. You see him through the wall here. Dapper's gonna push this guy. This round looks over, dude. And look what happens. Bro, how did it go from a 4v2 to a 2-on-1? How does that happen? Okay. And then Sick is like, swing me, bro. Doesn't. I'm a little surprised Sick doesn't wallbang this. I have a feeling Sick knows he's behind him. Behind the box. That was okay. So we're gonna go and explain a little bit what happened, all right? So that you guys, because a lot of it happened very fast. One, okay, at 4v2, Dapper plays this very well. He's jiggling. He's not committing. If he died there, the round would have been much worse. He knew he didn't commit yet, but he knew that he was gonna go for the plant. And to be honest, I think Avova would have gone for the plant. But he gets off at the last second and insta headshots Dapper. Okay. I don't think this is anyone's fault. Avova just got off. Unlucky. You know, that's pretty much it. There's 10 seconds left. You're going to push him. Then the Avova gets around the corner. Right as Sick is about to shoot. No! And then Avova plants here. I think Sick should have spammed this. The guy has no time, right? In the meanwhile, in the back, Kellogg's is back here by Belt, picking off everyone. He already got one on Zoms, who was top nest. You can see him die in a second. Let me see. You can see him die and just right here. And get picked. Bang. The funny thing is, this poison actually fucked Sick. Like this, it screwed it up so badly for Sick. If this wasn't here, he would have swung wide. But you see how he's avoiding the poison? Wow, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, the Sick would have swung wide, and he probably would have spammed this while Avova is planning. And yeah, Shazam's gets picked back Belt. Okay, so besides that being unlucky, what we're gonna kind of want to do is talk about how Sentinels could have won this round. And the biggest thing is they should have just killed Avova, man. Ignore Kellogg's. You could just fight. You don't have to be top tube. Don't have to be back rafter. Just come here. Like if Zoms was in top nest and just drop sight, Avova dead. Sick would have killed him, or Zoms would have killed him. Shazam, I guess, yeah, take the fight with the op. You have an op, yeah, whatever, right? But they both challenged the op and at different timings, and it ended up like Avova only fought one dude. That's the thing. He only fought Dapper. He hasn't fought anyone else, and everyone else has been fighting Kellogg's with the op from far range. It's a little unfortunate. I think Zom's probably like everything happened so fast. It seems like Sick has it on Avova, but yeah. Okay. 8-2. That round's a tilter, by the way. That round is a tilter. Alright, we're gonna go back into the game. This is 8-2 now. Favor of G2. What you're going to want to realize is that nothing really goes down in the early stages. So we're just not gonna pay attention. We're gonna look at the minimap. As Nuki is leaving, Tens is pushing. Tens catches like a beautiful timing on G2. Nuki's still aware, but like look at this timing. They push in, Tens is already out. This is like the best time you could possibly get. And then Tens gets 2. And then Shazam is feeling awkward. Yeah, this round comes out to Tens winning it. But you have to realize that like the one thing that matters is what's the word? Can it be reproduced? Can these results be reproduced? And in this case, no. Unless Tens always has the magical timing, he didn't have enough information to push. That was blind guessing. He just got aggressive. And that guess just happened to pan out. Nuki happened to leave. And Tens just happened to push at the same time. Nuki was holding that for a long time. And if he had held it for 5 seconds longer, which he could have, because it's not like Nuki has like a set time that he wants to do all this stuff. Tens would have just got cut off. So while the Sentinels do win this round and Tens pops off, gets 4 kills, since it's not reproducible, it doesn't matter. And honestly, it was more due to luck than it was due to skill. In terms of the macro. In terms of players' abilities, obviously, Tens is nuts. Okay. Alright, it's 8-3. 8-4 isn't the worst half. They just needed to, they would, you know, it hasn't gotten to the realm of being scary yet. Alright, this is where it goes really poorly. Shazam gets tagged. Zoms gets picked for free. Shazam is stuck. He dashes, but there's one extra spot that is not covered by smoke, and he gets picked by Mixwell. Sick gets a pick on the spike planner. Dapper's gonna drone through the ult, see if he can get a tag. So far, nothing. That was a little bit weird of a spin by Dapper. Honestly, he probably could have got a tag if he didn't do that. I don't think that would have made a difference in the round. But Tens pushes through the Viper roll, and that's kind of really ballsy, but he does. And he makes it through. And then that's when they know it's not B anymore. So, I'll explain it in a little bit. Kellogg's is lurking yellow. You can see him up here. He catches Shazam as he's rotating out. And then Nuki is here on this spot. And he is going to catch off Tens. And then the round is over. The 4v1. And Kellogg's is lurking. Yeah, okay, there's nothing Dapper can do. Okay, we're gonna start off by saying what went wrong. You know, that's always the fun thing to ask. What went wrong? Well, for starters, you can't lose 2 players and not get a single trade. That's just very hard to do. Zoms goes down, doesn't get 1. Shazam is gonna go down, doesn't get 1. That can't happen. It's gonna already set you off down tremendously. The one funny thing is, I want you to notice. We're gonna look at Sick. You can see his abilities, right? He doesn't have wall. So how did he get on top of green box, right? And then we're going to keep looking. Right? He's not on green box now. Kellogg's is like watching it. It's like, not on green box. And then it's like, whoa, how'd he get up there? Avova's wall. Bro, sticks out. You guys saw the glimpse? It stuck out and boosted him up. I just thought that was a funny little thing. You guys probably didn't notice. No one really notices, but that's kind of funny. Anyway, Avo was like, the hell just happened? And then Kellogg's is like, bro, I swear to God, I didn't see anybody there earlier. I promise you. What's up, Cap? I promise you no one was there. Okay. After that, this was a really cool idea or strat that G2 ran. They had the ult outside of B. This is going to put pressure without committing lives, you know? Sometimes, most of the time when you want to put pressure on a site, you have to commit players to do that. In this case, this Viper ult does the job. Sentinels can't ignore this, which is why all three players are still stuck here, even though after no noise, like no one's shooting anymore. But like people, they're still obviously worried about what's going on. And then Kelloxia catches one on the flank. Okay, this is also where Nuki is a really good spot to watch flank. One, no one's gonna effing check this. Two, no one's gonna walk in this area, right? So he would normally be just watching under tube. But then he hears tens running around, which is why he's facing the other direction. Check W. Boom. Next is we're gonna keep going, and this is round. Oh, that was the end. That was the end of the half. So it's pistol round, and this round is make or break. 9-3 is a like almost way worse of a score line than 8-4, and I would say the reason is because it pushes so much pressure on winning pistol. You lose pistol, you likely lose the second one. Then it's 11-3, and that means you can't make any mistakes or it's going into OT. With 8-4, you have like you can lose pistol and first gun round and still be able to bring it back, ish, you know. But yeah, here we're gonna talk about 9-3. Yep, analyst. Yeah, yada yada yada. All right. So let's keep going. Pistol round. This is where I'm going to say there's a few issues with this round that I personally don't agree with. I'm not a professional player, obviously. So I'm just making my inferences. You're welcome to agree or disagree with me if you have anything to say. You know, I actually like to listen to opinions. Kellogg's hits a really early pick on tens. I don't think that was Tens' fault. Kellogg's hit a really nice shot. Also, it was kind of, in my opinion, a little BS. But sometimes it's like being Valoranted, you know? It just be like that sometimes. Alright, so they're gonna regroup and hit B because they lose one player at A in tens, and then they're gonna hit B. The one issue here is that Sick doesn't have a wall. I'm a little curious onto why you don't buy wall on pistol, because wall is so strong on pistol. Buying slows, in my opinion, just doesn't have, like, very rarely, especially on the attack, doesn't gain as much value as a wall. I think a lot of people would agree with me. And that's honestly why you're gonna see Sick not plant here. Does Sick even have spike? No, Zombie. Okay, no, not Sick. Doesn't have plant here. But like you're gonna see, this is why Sick gets aggressive. And tries to peek. Obviously, he does get good damage off. That's great. But had he had the wall, they would have had the spike down. They struggle to want to plant this spike. Guess why? Because they don't have the wall. You get spammed by this through this green box, and it's gonna be super annoying. This wall doesn't like alleviate any pressure, and at the entire time you're planting, you're scared of just getting fast retake on. So yeah, I'm not sure why. I feel like he got 2 slows instead. Got light shields and 2 slows, but I feel like in every single case it's much better to just get a wall. I also want you to kind of pay attention to Mixwell's util. I'm going to explain it after this round, but this round I'm just going to give you a heads up. Does not go very well in favor of Sentinels. Look, Mixwell gets killed. Kellogg's kind of he's feeling crispy throughout this entire like LAN. He's been hitting shots, and he hits some ridiculous shots like that. The man didn't even see him. Did not even see him. That's also like I don't blame Zoms. Like this is just super unlucky a lot of the time. Okay, so what I mean by look at G2 Mixwell's utility, Viper Wall is like this, right? It goes through yellow and then ends up here. But then you're like, what if they peek on top of the tube? Well, don't worry, because Mixwell's gas orb, or Viper orb, is on top of the edge of B main, right? Like on top of the box. So then this with this covers the entirety, and it gives the least amount of space to the attackers on the retake. This is why this is a retake wall. Essentially, the normal one is like you put it from here to like back there or something like that, like this diagonal. But it allows people to transfer between this side of the wall and this side of the wall. And yellow, like from B main to yellow, and they can like help their teammates this way. With this, you can't. It blocks off vision here, and then this will also block off vision. So if you want to go help your teammates, you're gonna take like 30 something damage just running through util. Actually more, because the orb will open it up if you're trying to transfer between the two sides. Okay. All right, pistol is lost. This becomes, yeah, this is why I also said that's unlucky. It's not even Tenz's fault. I don't think Kellogg's even thought he killed him there. But pistol round lost. Sentinels is force buying, and I don't blame him. It's 10-3. You lose this round, it's 11-3, and then you're gonna have to deal with a bonus, a buy round, you know, a bonus, and then a first gun round, and then like, it's like, if you don't go, and they have no momentum. That's the biggest thing. Like their players are probably already mentally down. And sometimes I would rather, I think player mentality is something that like people don't value high enough, and people would just look statistically like, you should just save, right? Play for 11-3. But if you play for 11-3, like you can't make any mistakes. And 11-3 might be worse than like, you have like a higher chance of winning this round than like 3 more gun rounds, right? Every other round is like equal. This might be like a little jank, but maybe the element of surprise is enough to like pull it over. But yeah, they have a ghost and a sheriff and 3 specters on Sentinels. This is just a fast A. This kind of goes a little bit poorly, because if you look at the minimap, look at Avova. He's already pushed down tube, and this is gonna come to bite Sentinels in the ass. They get onto site pretty cleanly. I think all they lose is one player. They lose one player, right? But Vova's like flank makes up for it. He gets 1. And at this point, Nuki also gets 1 on site. And this is where it's gonna go downhill. Like before that, it's not bad. You know, you have a 5v4 post plant, and you guys don't have the best guns. You guys still down on a few guns, but you guys have positioning, and you guys have men up in favor of Sentinels right now. Avova gets the kill. Nuki gets the kill. Actually, Avova just getting the kill is already worse. Nuki gets 2. And then at this point, it's a loss round. Yeah, Zoms gets 1, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so the reason is Avova on the flank. If you look, we're going to pay attention to how it like affects how players play throughout the round. It's not just that he killed Tenz. It's that he is dragging the attention of Dapper, right? Dapper is watching it. Kills, Dapper shoots a little bit, and then Avova slows, and then Dapper's like focused. He's like, I can't look away. And while he would, in reality, he would just like to be like peppering people from a distance, but he can't do that because he knows one's right behind him. And then he had to leave. He actually gambled correctly. A lot of players would have just stayed, being scared that Avova was just gonna swing it after slow, but Dapper just, you know, pushed through and just left, and because he knew he had a help site. Okay. And then when that round is lost, it's kind of GG. I mean, obviously you're not going to GG, but like, you know that was the round you needed to win. If any comeback were to come from it, it starts with that round. Without that round, now it kind of still works out, because honestly, G2 just ends up bonusing again, but it just bonusing. And so the buys are actually, the funny thing is the buys are actually better for Sen than it is for G2. So G2 is gonna bonus, but Sen actually in this round has better guns. But very slightly, it's just by Guardian. Alright, so this is gonna be a clean A take, I believe. I think G2 just straight up plays retake and just gives it up. But what's sad is for Sick. Sick is planting, Nade comes in, he knows he doesn't want to tank it, then he can't plant, and then there's poison, so he can't plant, and then so like at this point you've been stalled out for so look at how much util. Just stalling out. Like Sick can't do anything. He's just terrified that they're gonna swing. They don't have back sight as well. And you're gonna find out why that's such a big deal. Because look, Zombs is focused on it and they're scared. Sick is a 1-for-1. Shazam is gonna get 2. That's pretty solid. But then this is where it all goes wrong. They lose 2 without getting a trade, and then Kellogg's is gonna destroy Shazam, I guess. That's a really kind of mean way to say it, but this is kind of the issue. They don't have Sick doesn't have enough money for a wall. So although they took sight, they only took the front side of sight. They have no clue if someone is down there. They have no clue if they're coming out rafter. Sick not getting the plant off here makes it very, very bad. Because they're forced to fight on sight. If Sick got the plant, he could just leave, right? But he can't. He has to plant the spikes though. And with all this util being used, yeah, there's just nothing you can really do at this point. They have better guns, but the trades go in favor. It's at the end when they lose 2 players, with Nuki being up top and I forget who was on the bottom. Avova? Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Nuki on top kills 10s. Zombs lurks through, but Avova's aware this can happen, and that's it. That's it. Shazam goes back to fight the flank because Dapper dies on the flank. And the round is over. 12-3. This is a very big shutout. It looks like Sentinels is a little lost. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen Sentinels look this lost. Not in a mean or rude way, but it's just like nothing they're doing seems to be working. And if we go back to look at the rounds that they did win, and they're not very like convincing. So this round is, let's see, this is the last round, right? Yeah, there's nothing special about this round. This is a testament to like how things are just going in favors of G2's way, and that like there's nothing you can really do. Dapper just gets picked by the op. And then Sick is gonna get blindsided here. Doesn't even get to play the game. And then there are 3 people forced to push through to the A site. Yeah, they just go toward the A site. And I don't think this goes well for Sentinels. Shazam gets 1. But like, yeah, he like never gets the dash out. He never gets any clean kills. 10s makes it look. That's the craziest part also. 10s makes it look possible for a second. Like, maybe? Maybe? This is a cool play. He jumps on the rope to kind of throw off the elevation, throw off the timing. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the entirety of the game. So, like, this last round, that was honestly just, like, bad peaks, or good peaks, good timing from G2. Kellogg's is just in the right place with an op. I don't think Dapper even had full utility that round. He had like an Ares. Yeah, he didn't have a drone. He had 2 shocks. And it's like you can't even clear it. This is the issue with not having enough credits. But we're gonna talk about how the beginning G2 just straight up. Well, let's talk about why G2 just beat Sen. One, a lot of G2 players were playing very well. Nuki and Kellogg's by far were winning majority of their gunfights, and that's obviously a huge part of it. That's not everything, but it is a huge part. Number 2, they were getting red, and that's just the thing. I'm not sure if it was my little theory about the Dapper's utility being used and immediately after Sentinels usually getting aggressive behind it. I'm not sure if that is the exact reason, but it is a very likely reason that has caused them to be wary. Because the thing is, Sentinels did beat G2 already, like earlier in the group stages. 2-1. They lost ICEBOX, but they didn't lose it this bad. I think ICEBOX was like a 13-8 or something like that. This is a 13-3. It didn't look this bad. Sentinels also has a pretty solid win rate on ICEBOX. It's not like they're bad at this map. This is not like one of their. They actually for a lot of the times pick this map. But yeah, Lastly, we're going to take a look at the rounds that Sentinels did win. And then we're going to notice that they don't even stand for anything, right? So let's go back to some of the rounds that they did win. One of the rounds, Tens gets the double kill flank. No. Sorry. Let me see. No. Okay, so the first round was the round where Zombs was in his Viper. It was an eco. That's the craziest thing. It was a round that they almost essentially didn't deserve. This is the round where Shazam updrafts gets a kill over the tube, right? Yeah, it kills Tens. Shazam updraft gets a kill over the tube. And then Shazam drops the op for 6. It clutches it up. 2 kills. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. Not an expected round to win. This is not a round you should win. So, therefore, we're going to keep going. I don't think they should have won that one. Also, not reproducible. This is off of basically hoping one of your players pops off. Shazam gets 2 kills, Sick gets 2. And also, besides one of your players popping off, yeah, they expect the enemy to make a mistake. All right, so that's one of the rounds. Second round is the round after. And this is when Tens gets 2 on the flank. Yeah, because it starts off bad. Sick gets picked early. Shazam, yeah, trades up, but like it's a post-plan situation. It looks actually pretty solid for G2. And then where's Tens? Yeah, there's Tens. And then Tens hits bada and bam. All right, so Tens won that round. It wouldn't have been nearly that close had those 2 players been alive, because they would have been really entrenched. All right, that's the second round that Sentinels won. The third round, Tens hits another flank. This is when Tens hits like the most beautiful flank of all time. Is it this round? Or is it? E2. It's another round after this. Is this round? Yes. Tens hits like a beautiful flank timing. This is when Nuki rotates off. Tens pushes up, and then all the timings work out. He's gonna cross this corner. Nuki's watching it. Oh, looked away. Tens is out. Oh, unlucky. You see how like none of these 3 rounds that Sentinels won were like they should have won? It's all based off of the fact that like something had to go right. Timing can't reproduce that. Players consistently popping off. You can, like, yeah, you can to it a certain extent, but you can't rely on that. Having average player teams being average player of each average member of each team being of the same level and performing well. Good. Obviously, the more team players that you have that can play well, the better your team will be. But in this case, you can't rely on Tens getting 4 kills. Tens flanking getting 2 and not like nobody holding that. You know, that's not something that you can always expect. Site holds are things you can expect, or like site holds are things that you can kind of like try to reproduce. Early picks are something that you can try to reproduce, because those are more common and more safe. But these are high risk, high reward plays that won Sentinels these rounds, and in the end only won them 3. So yeah, that is pretty much all I had to say. Sentinels players weren't honestly playing to their fullest potential. I think Shazam was getting out up a lot. Like he just never really felt like he had enough room to work with actually. And Tens had a few moments, but like the first 6 rounds is just aggression, shutdown, aggression, shutdown, aggression, shutdown. And yeah, honestly, I think G2 deserved this win. This is honestly like nothing you can really take away from them. Straight up, just play better. Yeah, I hope you guys like this. I know it's a little bit long, but just wanted to do a quick little rundown of why Sentinels got demolished, destroyed, owned, whatever you want to call it, by G2 on this specific map. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I also stream live on Twitch. That's when I usually do my normal Immortal Radiant gameplay, and I play for fun. And today I'm just trying to put this out there so that, you know, test this out. I might be streaming on YouTube. All right. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.